Hey, what's up guys? These are some PC misconceptions and PC building traps that beginner PC builders may fall into, as well as experienced PC builders may fall into. So stick along for the ride to find out what these are. Anyway, big shout out to this viewer on my PC building guide in Singapore video. He gave me the idea to make this video, and without him this video wouldn't be possible. Thanks for watching and thanks for the comment. So let's start off with number one. The first misconception is that, well, CPUs are the most important in terms of gaming performance. Most people are building PCs for gaming in general, and a lot of these people think CPUs are the most important, because usually when you look at your PC, the first thing you see is, oh, it's got an i7. You see the marketing of like computers, they're always marketing about how it's got an i7. They're not marketing about, oh, it's got a NVIDIA GTX 980, GTX 1080. No, they're marketing about how it's got an i7, because for some reason people think CPUs are the most important when it comes to gaming performance. Well, this is clearly not the case. When it comes to games, GPU is still king, because it's the one that renders the graphics. GPU is the one that's in charge of producing the image. That's why it's called a video card. So if you're building gaming PC, GPU should be the most important part in your rig. However, it's important that you shop so that your CPU and your GPU is balanced. Don't completely cheap out your CPU, because if one part is more powerful than the other, then the weaker part is going to bottleneck the more powerful part, meaning that the more powerful part won't be able to operate at its full potential, which means you're going to waste your performance. So yeah, shop smart, do your research. If you need any help, you can type in the comments of this video. I can definitely give you a help line thing. I'll give you some advice if you want. Okay, number two, the second misconception is water cooling is the best kind of cooling for your CPU. Well, this is a very common misconception, because everybody's like, oh, water is like cold, so it's gotta be the best. And I see these first-time PC builders excitedly with their $2,000 of budget, and they come to me, oh, I want to cool my CPU with like water because that seems like the best way. When I tell them immediately, there's no point. Water cooling may give you colder temps when you just turn on your PC, but after a while it's gonna match up to air cooling in terms of temperatures, so it doesn't really have a huge difference between water and air. Yes, water cooling has some advantages like cleaner tubing, it looks very neat, it takes up less space, and there's more like proper RAM support. You don't have to worry about tall RAM interfering with your cooler. But water cooling adds another dimension of risk to your PC build, water, when you don't need this risk, because air cooling can match the performance of water coolers and sometimes even beat water coolers when it comes to cooling down CPUs. So whenever I build a PC for my friend, I will get them an air cooler, not a water cooler, because a water cooler, there's too much risk involved. I don't like the idea of this of this amount of water being in my PC. And also air coolers are also generally more quiet, because they don't have a motor to pump water around. They just have two fans. Simple. So yeah, water cooling isn't the best CPU cooling solution. Air cooling probably is better most of the time. And this is my third PC misconception, PC trap that people tend to fall into, especially like beginners, of course. Power supplies. People always either go overkill or cheap out too much on power supplies. I've seen so many people with like these crappy 350 watt, like no name, no brand power supplies in their rigs, and I've also seen people with these 850 watt 8 plus gold power supplies in their rig that only has an RX 480, and I'm like, why would you do that? When it comes to power supplies, it's essential that you don't overkill and you don't go underkill. It's important you get a reliable rig, but at the same time, a reliable like PSU, so that it doesn't fail and destroy your whole system. Mind you, every part of your computer is connected to the power supply. And it's also important that you don't go overkill and get these crazy 800 watt power supplies, as the power supply will not be operating at its max efficiency and just waste power, and also you just waste money because you have to pay extra for this high-end power supply. When shopping for a power supply, go for something that's at least 80 plus or 80 plus bronze, so it's decently efficient, and don't get too high of a wattage on your power supply, because if it's too high, then the power supply won't be running efficiently. Use Cooler Master's power supply calculator website to calculate how much wattage you need. It's pretty accurate, it's pretty good, it's pretty useful. And my fourth misconception I'd like to talk about is Many PC builders, first time PC builders, think bigger is better, and they go out and buy these huge rigs, these huge motherboards, when there's really no point. Huge PCs are great, I mean, you can fit a lot of hardware in them, but really there is no true purpose to do so, because technology has been getting better. You can get better parts in smaller rigs. It's been decreasing in size. The quality of the PC parts have been decreasing in size and yet increasing in performance, and temperature and thermals and power consumption has all been dropping, which means that small PCs are more powerful than ever. And a lot of the time, if you were to build a small PC, you can match up a big PC in terms of performance. So don't worry about size, so long as it fits your budget and has the specs you like. A small PC will do just fine, and since it's small, it's gonna save you some space. Yes, small PCs are limited in upgradability, but if it's the first time you're building a rig, it's likely you're not gonna upgrade at least for the next 3 years. Okay, let's move on to the final PC building misconception / trap that a lot of first time builders fall into. So many people think RAM is like super important, and yes, it is. But the thing is, I see many people just buy so much RAM, and it's a waste of money. You don't need so much RAM, really. 16 gigs is preferably the max. Unless you're doing video editing or 3D rendering, then yeah, you're gonna need more RAM. But apart from that, gaming or web browsing or Google Chrome, many tabbing, you don't need that much RAM. 16 gigs is definitely sufficient for opening many tabs in Chrome or playing games or even Twitch streaming. 16 gigs is enough. Seriously. So yeah, don't overspend on RAM. RAM can get expensive, so don't waste your money there. And high-speed RAM as well is not important if you're building an Intel rig. However, high-speed RAM is absolutely important if you're building a AMD Ryzen PC, because high-speed RAM is going to be able to allow your Ryzen CPU to perform better. So high-speed RAM is important on AMD, not on Intel. Anyway, these have been these common PC build traps, misconceptions that you may fall under and fall into. So if you guys found it helpful, like and subscribe. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe as well. And if you want to and have the extra time, watch another video linked on the screen. That would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.